The South Korean entertainment world has once again been shaken by shocking news. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, along with his mother, has taken uncompromising legal action against a Sasaeng fan who attempted to break into their home just hours after his return from military service. No warning, no forgiveness, and no room for negotiation. This action marks a startling turning point in the history of celebrity privacy protection in Korea. How could someone who just returned from serving his country, who should be celebrating his freedom, instead have to face fear inside his own home? That is the bitter reality Jungkook and his family are facing. A security recording shows a woman trying to access the digital door of Jungkook's family home at night, just hours after the idol stepped into his house. This incident is not just a physical breach, but a deep psychological assault on the sense of safety of a son and his mother. A source close to the family confirmed that the decision to proceed with legal action did not arise suddenly. Jungkook and his mother reportedly had an emotional and burdensome discussion before reaching a unanimous agreement. The perpetrator must be acted upon without delay. They had been patient long enough, giving space, giving warnings, and all were ignored. Now, their decision is clear. This is a war against the culture of uncontrolled obsession. However, amid the uproar of support and public outrage flooding various digital platforms, an important question has now begun to emerge. Did all this truly happen? Or have we, as a collective, been caught in a narrative too perfect not to consume? Are we witnessing a real tragedy of a son and his mother feeling threatened in their own land? Or merely a part of a grand scenario designed to spark public sympathy and shape opinion? In this digital era, the line between fact and fiction is increasingly blurred. As information flows so rapidly from TikTok to Twitter, from YouTube to fan forums, the public has begun to lose a basic ability to doubt. We are used to believing what appears dramatic. We rush to ignite emotion before lighting logic. Let us pose the questions together. Could a Sasaeng truly be that bold to break into the home of a global star within hours of his discharge from military service, without a single security officer being aware beforehand? If CCTV footage indeed captured the perpetrator, why hasn't the public seen any visual proof? And if the perpetrator has been arrested or interrogated, where is the clarity on their legal status now? Don't get us wrong. The concern over an idol's safety is real. The fear faced by Jungkook and his mother cannot be taken lightly. However, when the news we consume comes from anonymous accounts, unverifiable clips, or testimonies said to be from insiders, shouldn't we be stepping more cautiously? In every dramatic paragraph that describes how Jungkook's mother wept, how the artist uttered the heart-wrenching line, "I can forgive what they say about me, but I cannot forgive what they did to my mother," we must ask, who conveyed this? What is the motive? Why did it appear now? Is this an attempt to touch the emotional side of the public to garner attention? Or is this the sincere expression of a son who felt his family's sacred space violated? Is this just a moment of empathy, or a carefully designed narrative strategy by an entertainment industry long skilled at building global sympathy? Some Korean pop culture observers even state that such cases, no matter how horrific, can serve as tools to create a narrative turning point. When an idol finishes military service, the industry needs a new spotlight to maintain popularity momentum. Thus, an emotional, confrontational, and symbolic story like this is born. But is that too cynical? Or is it just too naive to ignore the fact that media is a subtle propaganda tool? We are not claiming that this incident never happened, but we also do not dare to state that everything is fact. We merely invite you, the critical and concerned readers, to question, to dig, to not get swept into a stream that dictates, without allowing room to think. In an information landscape dominated by trending topics and clickbait, the ability to analyze and postpone conclusions is the most dignified form of resistance. What makes you certain that this event truly occurred as stated? Is it your emotion speaking, or your logic guiding? Try to reflect. Is it possible that this incident is also being used by certain parties as a stepping stone to strengthen brand image, show the company's concern for its artist, or even prepare for the launch of the next major project? Isn't the public's emotional reaction the most powerful marketing tool ever discovered? The sources we use come from various social media channels, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and major fandom random accounts that cannot always be verified for credibility. Much of the information circulates in the form of video snippets with unclear dates and contexts. Many are also testimonies claimed to be from insiders, without identity. So we stress, the full truth of this case must still be tested, not believed blindly. For too long we have lived in the habit of accepting information based on appearance, not the depth of its validity. So, as this article spreads and becomes a topic of discussion, we want you to not just read, but to think. Are you witnessing a real injustice? Or are you being shown a performance so skillful it no longer appears as a stage play? And if it is indeed true that Jungkook and his mother are fighting against this painful personal terror, then they deserve full support and maximum protection. But if this turns out to be merely a narrative crafted for other purposes, commercial, political, or public image, don't we deserve to know before giving boundless sympathy? What do you think after reading all this? Do you still believe this is a lone case of stalking? Or are you beginning to see that there are more layers behind the viral news? Will you remain a passive consumer of information handed to you? Or will you become an active thinker who demands transparency and truth? Remember, critical thinking does not mean you don't care. On the contrary, it shows that you care enough not to be deceived. At a time when the world quickly decides who is the victim and who is the perpetrator based on narratives that may not be complete, you have the power to slow down and reflect. We are merely presenting what has circulated. We do not decide the truth, but you can. So ask yourself today, is this reality, or just a reflection from an entertainment world that was never entirely real?